Today is Channel Your Flannel Day at school. So if you are feeling like you need to participate, rock out, you know what I mean? Maybe you take a picture and send it to us, and that way you can kind of say to yourself, I'm still in school. I belong. We're going to talk about making the body of your teapot. So just like the basic structure right here. Okay. If you're home, I'm going to recommend the easiest and quickest way. You can always do coils, just so you know. But instead of doing coils, I'm going to teach you a way that's a little bit faster. And so you're going to need a couple of tools. You're going to need a fork or a toothpick. This is for scratching or scoring, I mean. You're going to need water and maybe a paintbrush. I like to use a paintbrush instead of my fingers because I feel like I'm being more arty than, I don't know. And you're going to need a smacker. Now this is probably going to be your toughest thing to find. This is a wooden ruler. It's preferably going to be wooden in order to smack. I have smacked with so many different things in my day. I've smacked with like a wooden spoon, like an old wooden spoon. So ask your parents if you can use something like that. Kitchen stuff is really nice to kind of look through, but also go through your garage or your shed for just like an old piece of scrap wood that's, you know, kind of on the smaller side. Fairing strips or furring strips, whatever they are, they're about this wide and they can smack pretty well. So think about that. All right. So I've already made my end goal, which is a pinch pot. So basically this technique is going to be that you take two pinch pots, connect them together. So just to review with you, this is the same, like if you took me way back in the day and we made a little bud vase, that very first project, this is basically what we're doing. So I'm going to sit back and relax, kind of explain to you how to make a pinch pot. So this is a larger pinch pot. This is a size about like softball size. I made it into a ball. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to go about halfway down into there. Now with a larger piece of clay, it's a little bit harder to work with, but you guys have been working in clay for a while, so you have that, what we call proprioception. So proprioception is your body awareness. So you know what your fingers are doing and where your fingers are going, okay? So your thumb is always your inside finger, even though a thumb is not a finger. And your outside fingers are your pinching there. You want to make sure that you have a pinch where you leave a little bit of space in between. If you notice this pinch pot, the reason why it's decently stiff is partially because the clay is stiffened up already since I have left it out for a few minutes, but also the clay is on the thicker side, and what I mean by that is it's about the same thickness as my pinky finger throughout the entirety of it. So we're going to make sure that you get a hole and pinch out it with only your thumb. Just kind of hold this with your other hand and turn it as you're pinching. And just so you know, if I'm rocking, that means that I'm pushing because apparently I have to do it with my whole body. I feel like clay is like a whole body thing, not just your fingers and your hands. Now, as I choke on my spit, really successful demo here. As I choke on my spit, you can't tell that the bottom has opened out and gone a little bit deeper. But just know that what I've done in here is I've gone along the bottom on the interior. I've gone a little bit deeper and wider on the inside. Now what I'm going to do is so that's my bottom. I've started with my center bottom. Now I'm going to work around the outside of the center. So that's where my fingers come into play because I can reach them. Okay, so I'm going to pinch, okay, and then turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn in a circle. Okay? I'm going to move my fingers and my thumb up to the next level. So I was down here, now I'm going to move up to the next level, and I'll do it this way now. I'm going to pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch. So I'm going to keep going. And I've worked on that circular row. And then I'm going to keep going upward. And you can do this with me if you want to. If you want to keep stopping and starting the video, feel free to do that. I'm just going upward and around. And then when I get to here, I'm just pinching and turning it just like this. Okay. Now, whenever I go to measure it, I'm going to need to see if it belongs. Now, if you notice, I'm making a more upright pot. That's what I kind of want in the end anyway. But if you want a more outward pot, pinch a little bit more with your thumb and put more pressure on your thumb to move that pot outward. If you want to keep it upright, put more pressure with your fingers. So what I have to do is I have to actually widen this out to match with this anyway. So I'm going to just take this and pinch a little bit more around that outer rim. And now I have something that's matched up a little bit better, right? So you know what's going to happen next. And now if you notice, I'm being very, very careful placing these down. I don't want to crush these at all. But again, you know, you can do a lot with them. So just basically take that top edge. It's kind of bizarre to work with fork. I mean, it kind of takes me back to like doing all-nighters in college, but it's interesting, you know. So obviously what we're going to do here is take this and we're going to close this up to make a pod. Now what we're going to do is just take it and kind of move it in and make sure that that's squeezing out. I might have to, if it's not lining up, you might have to pop a little bit of it and kind of push it back in and kind of work with it. So now here's another advantage to a fork. You can take the back side of a fork and you can start kind of sewing this together. And what that's going to do is that's going to connect your two pieces together, and it kind of marries both pieces. Now it looks kind of gnarly, right? And remember, like, you have some pinches here and they may not look the best, but that's okay because I'm gonna keep going here for a second. We're gonna beat this sucker with the pod in place, and you're gonna love it. It's gonna be so much fun. So what you can do is you can take one second, I'm gonna show you this. Do I have it over there though? I don't know, I got disorganized. You can take your fingers and start smoothing this out if you want from here. You can use any tool that you have around to smooth it if you want to. I have been thinking about this one particular rib that I made out of a yogurt lid. So let me show you the yogurt lid because that's what I see right now from here. I'm going to look and see if I still have the actual rib. So hold on. I'm not editing that out, by the way. This is too hard to get picky about things. But if you take a yogurt cup lid and then cut out just a kidney shape from your yogurt cup, you can actually use that to smooth with. It works so good. So like any old lid, plastic lid from your Cool Whip container or whatever, use it. So pretend that I smooth this out around the whole way. Now we're going to take our smacker, right? And you're going to smack, turn, smack, turn, smack, turn. And just keep smacking this around. And what you're going to notice when you smack it is not only are your fingerprints going to disappear for the most part, the other thing that you're going to notice is that you can start perfecting out a nice symmetrical form for yourself that looks really good. Plus, it's fun to smack things around. Now, this looks like an egg shape right now, like my big dinosaur egg. I might keep it that way. I don't know. I'll figure it out as I go. All right. So you see where we're going with this. If you have a big gnarly piece right there, try and smooth that out so that when you go to smack over it a second time, and like this one, when you go to smack over it a second time, you can just kind of like work out that surface area. All right. So that is an 11-minute, 45-second video. If you came to the end of this video with me, kudos to you, right? Kudos. So show me what you've got done. So you're going to take a picture of what you have done and attach it onto this file, and let me see what you did. And that way I can see your progress, because that's one thing about working at home that I really, really miss, is seeing as you go, how are you doing? And then I can kind of guide you from there with like a Google comment or something like that. We won't miss a hitch just because you're home. Okay? We're doing this. So enjoy being away from a computer for a little bit. I'll see you. Bye.